A thief. A thief made up a criminal plan. He decided to come into a house at the night and steal a piano. Hello, Raphael.
Hello.
Hello there.
Good morning. Hello. Good morning, Leon. How are you?
Good morning to you too. I think it's 11 o'clock for me, and
No.
What time is it there?
Here in Spain are 12 o'clock. I think it's 12 o'clock.
Yes, I was living in Hungary before, and the time was Central European time. Are you on the Central European time?
Yeah, I think it's Central European time. Yeah. Congratulations for your classes. They are very nice and very good pronunciation and very interesting. Thank you a lot.
Well, I'm glad you like them. Great. Today, I'm going to try to do a little bit of writing, so you might need either a pen and pencil, but more likely Word or something to write with if you have a program. A bit later, first of all, we're going to speak about it.
Perfect.
So, first of all, I'd like to show you here how I am correcting English. Have you ever done any writing in English before?
Yeah, I have writing a lot of things in English, but in an incorrect form, I think.
Well, today we're going to be looking at two aspects. First of all, corrections, trying to write correct English. So we are interested today in learning English and correcting our grammar. But when we have time later to do some writing, then we will see if we can also speak a little bit about the creative side of writing. What kind of things have you been writing in English?
I've been writing a lot of exercises in English, and also write some letters, but in a bad way.
Well, all writing is good practice. Some people say that writing is a kind of forgotten art, and people these days don't spend so much time writing. But it's interesting, and I think it's a good way to learn. What do you think about writing as a way of learning English, Raphael?
I think it's a very good way to learn English, but nowadays I think it's too difficult to have time to write and to listen, and they are more comfortable, and we only want to see and listening and know more, and passive way to learn, I think. Writing is more active.
Speaking is very, very important, it's true. And there are people today on the internet who practice English almost every day, particularly on Facebook and social media, and they don't take the plunge into speaking. And so here we are on Verbling, we're allowed to speak, or we're not only allowed to speak, but we can practice speaking a lot, and that's great. Let me ask Pedro. Hi, Pedro, are you here? Pedro. Oh, I just asked Pedro a question. He's gone. Never mind. Let's try. Let's see. Abdullah, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello there.
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. Pedro, I muted him because some noise come from him. Sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. I think the problem was that he's actually left as well.
Yeah.
So I'd like to ask people here if they can give me any advantage of writing over speaking for learning English. Is there anything that we can get from writing that we can't easily get when we practice speaking?
We can see words when we write. Correct how to write.
So yes, we see the words and we can see the spelling, and that helps us a lot. And we also, in terms of records, keeping a record of things, is it easier for writing or speaking?
Keeping a record is to remember things. Is that the meaning?
To keep a record is to
Speaking.
record things so that you can see them again in the future.
Okay.
So
It's easier to review things when you have them written down.
I think so, yes, I think so. So here is an example, and a student can keep this. Now, here, it's quite simply marked. The corrections in this writing are quite simply marked up. And we're going to be able to correct grammar mistakes like this.
I have one more advantage. Can I tell you?
Yeah, what's that?
In terms of scope, sometimes it's easier to reach a larger audience when
Scope.
writing. Scope, yes.
To reach a larger audience, yes, because time isn't a problem, is it? So a book can be circulated for many years. That's good, yes. That's true. That is a great advantage. So in terms of record keeping and circulation, it has a tremendous advantage. Now, one interesting thing, if you have a lot more time to consider your writing, do you think it's therefore a lot easier to get it all right? Is it easy to write because we have time? What do you think about that? Anybody?
If you have time, it is better for you if you do the homework writing, because you learn more and you fix in your mind better writing and making the pronunciation in a good way. But we prefer an easier way, only listening or if you can speak, I think. It's my opinion.
Yes, these days the constraints of time press us too much and we have to just rush around, and we often don't have time to read and write, or especially write. So I agree with you, yes.
And
So,
also, excuse me, and also in your own language. Nobody nowadays write a letter or only send a message with the contractions of the words, and it's difficult to understand. If you texting a message, it's very difficult to understand because you you don't use you only use a you, and it's
Yes,
too difficult in your own language.
yes, I'm thinking about what I do in my own language, and I do write letters sometimes, because sometimes I think writing a letter is much faster than the telephone or email. Because if you have a problem with a company, maybe they supplied the wrong goods or something, and sometimes if you phone people these days, do you speak immediately to the people that you want to speak to? What's your experience, Raphael, in your country? If you called somebody on the telephone in a company, do you get through to a human being to speak to?
I can understand properly because could you repeat, please?
In Spain, if you have a problem, for example, with your internet service provider or your bank or something, and you telephone them, will you speak to a human being?
At the beginning of the call, you speak a machine, and it's too difficult to understand the machine. Please, if you have a problem with the internet, please shoot one. If you have a problem with the telephone mobile, please pick up the third. It's impossible. And later you'll go without people, without human being. And also it's very difficult to understand and that he understands you. Perhaps it's better, as you say, write a letter. It's more easier.
Well, can I? Yes, you know, I came back to England from Hungary, and I was expecting this situation, the voicemail and the menu system. Press number 1 if you want customer services. Press number 2 if you want to buy something. And I've become used to this over the years, but I came back to England and I was caught out and very surprised to find that you are now speaking to a computer with voice recognition, and the computer wants you to speak and then understand what you are saying. Yeah. And not only that, the computer will call you. So my telephone rings in England, and I answer the telephone, and a robot is speaking to me. And I wonder why. And so I sometimes find this snail mail, as we used to call it, writing a letter is quicker, strangely. But so sometimes I do write letters. Who here has not written?
Hello?
Just a moment. Who?
Hello?
Just a moment, please. I'm just asking a question.
Can you hear me?
So who here has never written a letter except by email? Is there anybody here who's only written emails and doesn't ever write letters?
No.
So everybody occasionally writes a letter, or maybe people sometimes don't write letters?
Yeah, occasionally.
Occasionally, yeah. So there's still a place for letters, I think. Sometimes there is a place for writing a letter because it keeps a legal record. Right. Okay, so now let's press on, because today I want to have a look at 2 aspects of writing. First of all, I'm going to show you a simple way of correcting writing that I'm doing here. Can I ask Ibrahim, are you there, please?
Yes, I'm there.
Can I ask you to have a look at this correction? Now, I'm going to tell you that the red was marked in red. Why was it marked in red? Let me ask you. Why do you think the red text is marked in red?
It is wrong.
Is it wrong? Yes. So I've marked all of the mistakes in red, and then I've looked at some other problems as well. So can you tell me what is wrong with any of these mistakes? Let's have a look at a thief made up a criminal plan. What do you think about made up there?
Really, I don't know.
It's not formal, it's informal.
Well, that's good. That's good that you've remembered that, because we spoke about this yesterday. And phrasal verbs are usually informal. Yes, so it isn't formal, it's informal. Great, good. So a thief made up a criminal plan. He decided to come into a house at the night and steal a piano. Number 3, at the night. Man, can you tell me what you think about that, number 3?
The is not important here. You can eliminate it.
Yes, you don't need the. So this is a kind of simple, very simple kind of correction system. Has anyone ever seen a much more complicated system of correction? Has anyone ever used another system, any other kind of correction system when they're studying English?
What do you mean?
I mean, sometimes teachers use little coded letters, like S means spelling mistake, or WO word order problem. Have you ever used another system like this?
Yes, some teachers underline the sentences so the person have to see or read it again and try to figure out what was the mistake or write it in a better way.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to correct writing just by making some comments like this in a list. So now, today, we're probably going to look at writing grammatically correct, of course, because it's always important to write things in a grammatically correct way as far as possible. Unless there's probably an exception to that. I've been looking at the books by Mark Twain. Does anybody know Mark Twain?
Yes.
Yes.
Who can tell me where Mark Twain based some of his books? Where were they written? Well, who can tell me anything about Mark Twain?
I think it was a British author.
No, he was
he wasn't
American.
actually. He did write. He wrote about London once or twice in *The Prince and the Pauper*, but he was American, from the South. Because
Tom Sawyer's Adventures. He wrote.
Tom Sawyer was from the southern states. Yes. Now, in that book, there are quite a few sentences which are grammatically incorrect. When is it okay or acceptable to write things in a book which are grammatically incorrect?
If you are a famous author, you can do that.
Yes, well, there is something. What do we call that when you are the writer, so you can do what you like? There's a special word for that. Do you know?
No, I just know that they tweak sentences sometimes.
Yes, sometimes we can use words like poetic license. You know, if you're writing poetry, you're allowed to write anything, and there is this, but you have to know what to do. And there's another case where in grammar there's something called reported speech.
Okay, yeah.
So if we use reported speech or direct speech, which of those could include grammar mistakes? Reported speech or direct speech? Maybe both. What do you think?
A reported speech for sure. When you have in quotes.
Yeah. So if it's direct speech in quotes, then there may be characters in your book. So occasionally, we don't want to be too strict with our grammar, but we want to know and understand grammar. Right. So now we're going to have a look at some of these ideas for writing now. And I hope everyone's got a pen or a paper or something like that on the internet ready. So let's have a look at some of these. So please, Erica.
Yes.
Could you read number 1?
Number 1. You are digging in your garden and find a fist-sized nugget of gold.
Have you ever done that?
No. No, because I'm not sure what is nugget.
What is a nugget? Nugget is a word used here and there. Bits of things, nuggets. What is a nugget?
A metal or a mass of gold.
Ah, okay.
A chunk.
A chunk is a good word for nugget, I think. Yes, I like that word, chunk and nugget, because a chunk and a nugget are quite similar. The
So
idea
I've
they
never
give
done
me,
that.
not too much, So not a great big bagful, a nugget. Sometimes we speak about chicken nuggets.
Yeah, that's the ones I know.
So nuggets. So that's one thing. So let these mull around in your mind, think about them, and see if any of them bring up any thoughts or conjure up any images in your mind. So you're digging in your garden and you find a fist-sized nugget of gold. So that might be an interesting one. Right.
Yes.
And let's ask Ibrahim, can you read number 2, please?
Yes.
No?
Write about something ugly or fear, hate.
How do you say that word?
Cruelty.
Cruelty, yes.
But find the beauty, silver lining in it.
Yes, silver lining. What is it, that expression, silver lining? Have you heard that before, Ibrahim?
No.
Where does it come from? It's actually something we can see with our eyes.
In the
No.
sky, sometimes you can see the clouds has a silver lining.
Yes, and that's why we have an... What's the full expression sometimes that we see? So when people need to be consoled, you can say, hey, don't worry, every cloud
Have a silver lining.
has a silver lining, yes. And so a silver lining is something good in the bad. Okay, so that's an interesting one, because sometimes if you write about just nice things all the time, then there's nothing driving you. There's nothing like a little bit of an argument or something that you are against to get your blood boiling and help you to think about writing something. It's sometimes easier to complain than it is to actually agree with somebody, because if you like something, you can just say sometimes, I like that. But if you don't like something, you can explain why you don't like it at length sometimes. So sometimes if you're stuck with an idea, it's not a bad idea to go negative a little bit, and sometimes, but then maybe twist it into good sometimes. So I'll read number 3 because it's very short. The asteroid was hurtling straight for. Sounds like Apocalypse Now or something, some big disaster coming. So number 4, Man, can you read number 4? Are you there? Do you have a microphone there? Hello?
Yeah. Yes, hello.
Hello there.
A kid comes out of the bathroom with the toilet paper dangling from his or her waistband, I think.
Yes, so
I can't see it clearly.
okay, okay, that's good reading. That's nice reading. Good. Where are you from?
Thank you. I'm from Saudi.
And how long have you been speaking English?
It's like now it's 1 year ago.
Okay, that's good work. Good. Very well read. So, Manuel, are you there today?
Yes, I am here, teacher.
Hi there. So, could you please have a look at the next one, number 5, and read it through?
Fine. Write about your early memories of faith, religion, or spirituality, yours or someone else.
Faith is that word. Yes, faith, religion. Well, you know, it's interesting because it is, in speech, considered to be one of the taboo subjects. Manuel, do you know this word, taboo subject?
Taboo subject.
Taboo. Do you know? Who can write that word for me?
Taboo. Taboo is if you relate, for example, things that you must not do.
Yeah, things that it's not good to do for social reasons, perhaps. So there are 2 or 3 subjects which are not generally spoken about in conversation.
I think it has to do with the religion. The religion has a lot of taboo.
Because if we speak about religion or other things, some things we don't even mention the name, do we? Sometimes, but so there are taboo subjects. But sometimes, if you're writing, then it's just a communication to some people who you want to target your communication to. Then it's not quite the same thing as speaking in a group. So sometimes you can choose a topic like this, and it's your experience. So that's good as well. Manuel, which of these so far grabs your attention? Which of these are you most excited about? Have you seen any that you think look good for you to do?
The fight.
Number 8.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Which of these looks interesting for you?
For me, fate is very interesting because you have to believe. You have to believe the thing that this thing there is not explication or are very difficult to believe on it.
Okay, and those 2 words that I've written there, can you read them?
Fate? What?
Fate is the first word.
Yeah, religion, the second word.
Faith. Faith and fate. Fate and faith.
Faith.
Faith. Yes.
Faith and faith.
Okay, so let's move on now. Maria, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Ah, good to meet you again.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you've heard so far on the list here which excites you at all?
Do you mean any of these sentences or
any of these topics? Which one of them grabs you as maybe something that you would possibly write about?
If I were to write like an essay or something.
Yes. Which of these would you choose, do you think? Well, maybe if you're let's read 1 or 2 more and then you can answer. So we've read all the way down to 5, I think. So could you read 6 and 7, please?
Yes. There's a guy sitting on a park bench reading a newspaper. And write a poem about a first romantic, I dare say, sexual experience or encounter.
So some of these might get the blood going a bit. Now, some of them are rather open-ended, like an open kind of question. Which of these would you put in that category, Maria?
Number 6.
I thought that as well. There's a guy sitting on a park bench reading a newspaper. That could go anywhere, couldn't it? And there are some others a bit like that too. So you have to think about whether you have enough of an idea, or if you have enough ideas. There I am, using idea 2 ways. But can you read number 7? Sorry, number 8 as well.
Okay. He turned the key in the lock and opened the door. To his horror, he saw.
Is that an open kind of task, or do you think it's...
It's open, yeah.
It is, isn't it? It leaves everything to the imagination. Right. So we're going to start thinking about which of these we can have a go at. So I think today we'll just try and get through the tasks and read them all and see which we like best. So let's go over. Erica, are you there? Hello, Erica.
Yes, I'm here.
Could you read a couple more of the tasks out loud, please? So we have read, the last one we read was he turned the key in the lock and opened the door. So Number 9, please.
Yeah, number 9. Silvery flakes drifted down, glittering in the bright light of the harvest moon. The blackbird.
Now, does this one bring anything to your mind? Does this inspire you in any way at all? What's this all about, do you think?
What is this about? I don't know. It makes me think about, big field, green field or something like to be in the forest or something like that. I don't know. At night, probably.
Yeah, so this is a little bit open too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where are you from, Erica?
I'm from Peru.
Ah, Peru, yes. I've met 1 or 2 students from Peru, and I was speaking to a man last week about Peru. Do you live high up in a mountain or do you live low down?
Well, I live in another country, but I am from the coast. I live in Italy right now, so.
How long have you been in Italy?
For 7 years already.
Ah, okay. I'd like to go to Peru one day because the geography is so exciting, I think, with the high altitude. But maybe, how many people in Peru live high up?
Yeah, higher, I think not too many people, because most of the people is in the coast right now. Probably, I don't know, probably 20 million, no, less than 20 million, probably 10 million people. I don't know exactly.
And are there any people who, how can I say, I think like the South American Indians who are living right up and play flutes and guitars, and are there people like this still?
Other people like this too? I don't
still
understand.
Today? Are
Yes.
there, yes?
Yes. Yes.
With a very colourful kind of clothes, clothes that they wear?
Yes, because they are part of our tradition, so there are a lot of, how do you say that, small cities, or even in the coast, in the city, on the capital city, where they still play their instruments and wear the costume, no, how do you say that? Oh my God. Typical clothes.
Like traditional costumes?
Yeah, traditional.
Yeah, great. Yes. I quite like the music. The old traditional flute and guitar kind of music.
Yeah.
I like Latin jazz too. Anyway, let's move on. So I'd like you to move on and read 2 more for me, please.
The other one? Do you want me to read the other one?
Read the next one, yes.
Okay, number 10. The detective saw his opportunity. He grabbed the waitress' arm and said...
There was something about the reading of that with a possessive.
Waitresses.
Yeah, waitress's arm and said. So that's an open-ended one as well. Okay, and 11, please. Just 11 for you. Okay,
11. There are 3 children sitting on a log near a stream. One of them looks up at the sky and says...
I like this one. Do you know, this one is different to all of the others because instantly I see a possibility here that wasn't ready in the others. Can you see what's new with number 11?
The possibility of a dialogue, probably.
Yeah, I think so. The possibility of thinking about characters. So if you are interested in characters and their differences and dialogue, then I think I might go for number 11 at the moment. All right, thank you very much. And let me just see if we can read some more now. So who's new here? Everybody's been reading. All right, Raphael, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there. Thank you.
Let's try and read a few more quickly now then. So I liked number 11 because it has the possibility of characters. So can you read number 12?
There is a magic talisman that allows its keeper to read minds. It falls into the hands of a young politician, and the crisis coming again.
Now that one could be a great story, don't you think? 12. Would you choose that one?
No, I think it's very dangerous if a politician find a magic talisman. Because if he is a nobleman, it could be fine. But if he's a dishonest man, it could be a horrible thing.
I can think of many stories like this, so we don't have to stick exactly. This is just for an idea. So, for example, I could change the idea, just use this to give me an idea, and then change my idea. So, for example, I could be a criminal, and I've gone to Australia and I find a magic boomerang. Mm-hmm. Do you know the boomerang?
Yeah.
And every time I throw the boomerang up, it takes a while flying in the air until it comes back to me. And while it flies up in the air, everything, all time, stands still. Could that be dangerous in the hands of a criminal?
Yeah. Very interesting idea, I think.
Yeah, so you can take any of these ideas and just use them to make another idea if you like. Can you read number 13?
Me? And you thought dragons didn't exist.
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 And another word for you. How do you say this word in the Verbling chat?
Allows.
Yes, you need to get it a little bit more open, like ow, ow. Imagine that
Allow.
all you do to get that sound is imagine that somebody has thrown a boomerang and it hit you in the head, and then you just say ow. How do you say how do you express pain? Because in English, sometimes if we don't like something, we say the vowel sound of word. We say and if we are hit by something and it hurts, we say ow, ow. So in Spanish, is it the same? If you don't like something, what sound do you make?
If you don't like something, you say ah.
Ah.
I think.
In English, we sometimes express disgust or disapproval or dislike with the vowel sound of but it's okay to use it in words. So if you use it properly, then it doesn't sound like that. You say word, I heard, but if you say
it is an international language.
So you say that in Spanish as well?
Other people around the world make the same sound.
But they make different sounds when they get hurt, and so sometimes some sounds are different. So ow is a kind of ow. If in English that's a pain sound. So how, allow. Okay, so there are some international sounds, aren't there? And it's quite interesting, but there are some differences. So what do you say in Spanish if you slip over or make a mistake, Manuel?
When I make a mistake, what I say, I'm sorry. Lo siento.
For example, in English, I might say something like oops or something like that, or oops.
We say uh-oh or yes. Uh-oh or something.
In English,
like
uh-oh is more watch out sometimes. So if somebody comes around the corner and you want your friend to think, hey, watch out, you could say, uh-oh.
You know, in Italy, they don't say oops, they say ops.
Ops.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I think in Italy and Spain, we normally use a bad word like coño or stroncho, merda, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
In the English-speaking world,
yeah.
some areas in some places today, you hear a lot of bad language. But I noticed that it's not true everywhere. If you go to a lot of America, they're not doing that all the time. You hardly hear any bad language. You hear it in big cities and some areas where there are a lot of people, different people. But it's true. In England, where I live, there are some places where you hear some bad language, and some places you just won't hear any really bad language at all. Day after day, you won't hear any. So you get different people in different places. Some people think that it's all like the movies, you know. They see some films and they see the movies and they think it's all like that, but it's not true. There's so many different places. Okay, so now let's see if we've got anything more there. I'll ask, Furkan, can you tell me, out of the rest, we've got up to, which one were we on now? Yeah, dragons don't exist. That's a kind of dragon one, isn't it? I'm not really going to choose that one, I think, but can you read 14 and 15 for me?
Okay. Write about nature, include the following words: hard drive, stapler, phone, car, billboards.
Stapler, that is. What is a stapler?
I don't know.
What is a staple? It's something to do with stationery, but not the stationery. There's two stationaries. Who can write two stationery words? Stationery. Let me write one. Maybe somebody else can write one before me. Stationery.
It's a device that is used in office when you can join two paper or three or more. You can write staple the paper.
Yes, so stationery is paper, pencils, those kind of things. So which of those two words is that?
First one.
The first one with an A or the second one with an E? One of those is about paper, sheets of paper, and it's the second one. So you have staplers, okay. So Furkan, is there anything interesting here for you so far? What do you think about these?
I don't know, it's different.
You haven't really chosen one in particular yet? Right.
I didn't read the second one, the 15th one.
Read, well, I don't mean out of 14 and 15, I mean all of them so far, but read 15 now.
Okay, the doctor put his hands on her arm and said gently, "You or the baby will survive, not both. I'm sorry."
Ooh, very sad.
Dramatic.
Yes, it's a bit like British TV these days. It seems that in the daytime it's either cookery or buying houses, and in the evening lots of films are about crazy people and mass murderers and serial killers. Now, in your country, do you have this kind of TV? People seem to be obsessed here with serial killers.
Well, we watch a lot of criminal, how do you say that? Crime series.
Crime, yes.
So, but they are from United States mostly. So, they are not made in my country.
We have different kinds, and some of them are different to the others, but some of them seem to be obsessed with serial killers and crazy people and horrible things like that. Do you have these kind?
We watch it.
Do you have crime TV series which are quite scary?
Yes, like Criminal Minds.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, let's go through the rest of them and then we'll speak about what we're going to do with them. So, Erica, can you just read 16 and 17?
Okay, 16, the nation is controlled by. 17, you walk into your house and it's completely different. Furniture, decor, all changed, and nobody's home.
Now, 16 looks like some kind of, what do you think about 16?
It reminds me those movies, you know, about superheroes or something, like a bad person is controlling the country. I don't know. Or
Some
nation.
kind of, I'm thinking about conspiracy theories. Have you heard this word?
Yeah.
Yes, they might be interesting to write, but whether or not you believe them, I don't know. But they can make for interesting writing. And they can get really crazy sometimes. Would you choose one of these kind of crazy things like that, or would you? What kind of writing do you think you would like to do?
I was thinking about one of the ones at the beginning. It was one about a Hartling asteroid. I don't know.
Ah, the one which was a disaster, an imminent disaster.
Yeah.
And it seems like we can't do anything about
the
it.
disaster, but the people thinking about something that's gonna end, and what would you do in that situation? Something like that.
Yes, but there have been films like this, haven't there?
Yeah, I think so. They already have.
And one of them, I think, was one of the worst films ever
Really?
made.
Oh my God! That's why I won't be making any films.
Yeah, I don't think I would go for that one, but maybe that's a little bit too cliched for me. I think I might stay away from that one. But maybe there's a new angle, a new approach. So it all depends on your own idea. So you might have a good idea with that one. Okay. So I think everybody can find something, and it doesn't really matter what you choose, because you can change the emphasis and make it good. So, okay, can you read the next one as well, please?
18. Write about one or both of your parents. Start with, I was born.
Okay, can you tell me how you say this word?
Parents. No.
It should sound like the vowel sound like chair.
Parents.
It's not. It should be parents. Yeah.
Parents.
Parents.
Parents. Okay.
And what is the adjective of it? It goes before the word guidance.
Parenting. No. Parenting. Parental. No.
Parental guidance. Yes. Parental guidance. Yeah. So that's. Okay. So let's see who's here still. Heepfei, are you there? Do you have a microphone? Would you like to speak? Don't know if she's there. Ibrahim, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
So could you read the next two, please? That's which number are we on now? We did the one about parents just now.
19 and 20.
Yes.
The most beautiful smile I ever saw.
What does that conjure up in your mind? 19. What do you think about when you read those lines? What kind of writing do you think this is leading us into?
Or a love story.
Yeah, so I think I would stay off this one, because I don't know how to write about love stories, because I don't have any experience of that kind of thing. So I don't know how to do that really, but in writing anyway. So I might have to try it. Maybe we should try it sometime, but at the moment I think I would stay away from that one. What about you? Will you go for that one, Ibrahim?
Yes, sure.
Okay, well, read the next one, please.
I believe that animals exist too.
Now,
I like that.
Yeah, that one is something which I've actually thought about before, because sometimes we think we are above the animals.
Yeah.
Always, a lot of people speak about this as if the animals are somehow, we're not really part of the animal kingdom, and so I might like to take on that one, and a lot of people might think about that one as an interesting one. Yeah, can you read the next one as well, please?
A twinkling eye can mean many things. The one that is twinkling at me right now.
Ah, yeah, that seems to be a little bit like number 19. So I think I shall stay away from the loved ones at the moment. All right then. Well, I think what I'd like you to do is look out for this lesson next time round, and could you please try to bring along some writing with you. So we won't write in class right now because we're down to 5 or 6 minutes left here. Yeah. So right now we just think about our choice. Think about the choice of topic here, and just see if you can put together only 50 words. Is all we need. If you've got more, that's fine. You know, usually when we write, we want to write something like 200 words. But if you can just put together 50 words,
okay,
and try to
that's fine.
Bring it with you next time, and then next time we're going to look at some of it. I hope. I hope that works out.
Okay, good.
So I think I would choose. Well, which one? I still haven't made up my mind. Has anyone made up their mind already?
Yes, I did.
You've actually chosen. Which one would you choose then?
The last one.
The last one.
I believe that animals exist too.
And have you got any idea about how to plan it?
Not really. Not really. Probably to put a lot of ideas together and then figure out what to write.
So let's speak a little bit about how we can actually organize it. And so we can go from as little as 50 words up to 200 words. So let's speak about how to plan it. Now, does anyone have any ideas about how they will approach it? What would you do if you think you are going to write about 50, 100 words? What would you think about?
I think it's a good way to begin to write in a creative way, and later you can go on with more words and you are improving your writing and improving your ideas and your creativity, I think.
Okay, yes, that's good advice, but I'm looking now for people to make some suggestions about the way that you can structure your writing. So we break down our writing into, first of all, the smallest component is a word, and then we have a sentence, and what's the next one up?
Paragraphs.
Paragraphs, and usually paragraphs collect together some kind of idea or common idea. So one way might be to just make a list of the paragraphs, what they will be about. So, but you've all done this before, I think. So I'm looking forward to actually seeing what you can come up with. So have a look through the list and see if you can choose one. Yeah, you can just do it in 3 parts. I like that, 3 parts. Even if you really just keep it simple. One rule that I find is very good in everything, not just writing, but in everything, is keep it simple. And sometimes we say KISS, don't we?
Keep it super simple. Keep it super simple.
Keep it simple, okay.
And I find this applies more and more to everything. You know, I do quite a lot of different things. I have quite a few different hobbies, and keep it simple. Yes, it should probably have a double S, shouldn't it? What's the other S for then? Keep it
super simple.
Super simple, yes.
Keep
it would have
it
to be,
short
wouldn't it?
and
Short
simple.
and keep it. Oh, well done. Yeah.
Short, stupid.
Yeah.
I don't like the second one, but maybe it's even not wrong.
You know, in Hungary, this is a name, a family name, but it has a different pronunciation though. But it's a family name. So just a simple sandwich form: introduction, main part, and conclusion. Just try and think about where you're going. Really, try and think about how it's all going to come together. Sometimes you see one of these sentences and you just write that sentence and then just write the next sentence and then it crashes. So it's a good idea to think about the overall form. Another thing before we go, there's a word which computer programmers use, parse. What is that verb? Who can explain parse?
I don't know.
Silence.
It's not pause.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Power.
I think you're thinking of pause, yeah. Parse is like pass through something from the beginning to end. And I use this kind of method sometimes. So what do you think we could do with it? What do you think I'm speaking about here? It's a kind of iterative process. Does that mean anything? Iterative, what does that mean? Can I spell it?
Is that before you start writing, you should parse through? Or?
No, it's actually after you've done the writing. And so actually an iterative is doing something again and again to improve it. And this is something which you can do if you have time. If you're a real writer, you can do this. But we don't always have time to do this. But it's quite an interesting thing to do because, you know, sometimes you can have very, very simple mistakes. I've had so much writing to look through, and I look through the writing and there's really simple mistakes. So we parse through, or we go through it once, looking for one thing. So we look for conjugation errors. And that's all I do. I just look through, let's check the verbs. Are they all correct? Then, if you're writing creatively, which of the parts of speech do you think might be the most interesting if you're writing creatively? Well, all of them are, but you can make sure that you've chosen good, exciting ones. So some words are a bit boring, aren't they? Who knows a boring word?
Issue.
Issue? Well, I could make that quite exciting, but there are some words which are just boring. Here's one. That's nice.
Like make, like something.
That's nice is boring, isn't it? That's nice.
You use it a lot. That's why.
And get it. Get and nice. And there are other words. So you can, if you want to write something that stands out in the crowd, then you can parse your writing and change words. So you can go through and fix up all of your adjectives. Look for interesting adverbs. See if you can throw in an adverb.
Lollapalooza.
I went for a walk. You could change that. How could somebody change that? I went for a walk. Can you change that sentence for me?
I strolled through the garden.
Yeah, and then we could add an adverb. I strolled through the garden.
The beautiful garden.
Yeah, and an adjective. So we could even add two more words. if we like. We don't have to, because sometimes it gets cluttered and we have to do it in the right way, but we can think about it at least. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is go and have a cup of tea.
Wow.
So I haven't scheduled the second lesson for this, but I will try to find a good time. Is it good to do it at the same time as this, maybe one day in the week? One day in the week we could have it. So anyway, I shall do that now, and if you like, you can write some words, and then we will spend some time talking to you about them. So whoever writes will take centre stage and we'll go through the writing. So see you all later, I hope.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
See you later.